But I mean, you know what's better than a blue screen?
What?
Absolutely abusing your genitalia.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you a story. This was one of these beats that made me actually, like, feel depressed afterwards.
How? Exactly.
And it's like, it's not even what I was watching. Most of the time, it's about what I watch. But this time, like, it was a normal thing I was watching. This time, it was about the method I used.
I'm not following.
Let's just say I have a particular set of skills.
Okay.
Skills that make busting nuts a nightmare. For people like you.
People like me.
So, okay, I'll tell you what the ingredients were, but I'm not necessarily going to tell you what I did. So, alright, get your notepads out, kids, because Daddy's going to teach you something. Okay, so you're sitting there and you're just like, man, I'm so horny, I gotta just bust, but I don't want to jerk off. Yeah, I started it. It's loading.
Like
but I don't want to jerk off like normal.
Joey Diaz, dude.
Because like my hand is just gets so boring. So let me tell you, you gotta get 3 socks, like medium socks, I would say, but whatever you got. Then 2 rubber bands. Grab a glove, like a rubber glove. I recommend like a kitchen, like dishwashing glove. They got special rivets up in there. And after you get that, pick out your favorite body lotion, whatever it is. Just, you know, maybe you want some fragrance. Maybe you get the cherry blossom. Maybe you get a coconut.
Okay.
I mean, soap is okay. It's just it's not as good for you. But you know what? It's fine. Pick it up. Pick it up. Whatever you got. It might even burn. Who knows? The body lotion's the best option. So, okay. Now, if you're writing this down, you're gonna be happy soon. Cause I'll tell you a story. So you go. So you take your socks. Now you lay them both down flat, and then you curl. You fold the tip where the toes go. You fold that about a 1/4 inch.
What?
On both of them, so the fold is facing down towards the table. Then you grab your glove, your rubber glove, and you place it onto the sock. And the opening of the glove should be where you fold it. There you go. Now you place the other sock on top. Now you're gonna stretch out the opening to this glove around these folds. Now hear me out here. Now after you do that, you're gonna stretch it out like a good amount, like 1 inch or a half. Then you wrap 1 rubber band around that, and then you take your 3rd sock. I bet. Oh my god! I bet you guys are thinking, where's the 3rd sock go? Oh no! Yeah, I'll tell you where the 3rd sock goes. So you're gonna use this 3rd sock as a wrapping. You're gonna go down to the center. And you're gonna wrap that around the 2 socks and use it as a holding mechanism. Then you're gonna, hey, I hear you out there, motorcycle. I will literally clothesline you if you drive past my house again. So then you rubber band around that, so it's a double containment unit that you have. I'll make a visual tutorial, but this is as much as I can give you now.
Don't do that, please.
So then, once you got this set up, you're like, okay, it looks like an opening. I like this, but sticking it in there just doesn't feel great. And what I say to that is, why did I ask you to grab your body lotion if you're not going to use it? So, get a generous amount, not too much. Okay, let me be honest. You don't put enough, it's not going to be fun. You put too much, it's just going to be, there's no friction. So a little bit, not too generous. Then you get your fingers, you get your fingers, and you stick them down there. You just make sure it's all lathered. Then that's up to you. What's next? It's up to you. And let me tell you, when I created this thing, I came in 1 minute.
I'm sorry. So let's be clear. You take the 2 socks and you fold them, and then you take the glove.
Just 1 inch fold.
Take the glove, and basically what you do is you like sort of fold them backwards onto like, so like it like sort of pulls backwards and holds those 2, and then you rubber band it, and then you take another sock and pull it over everything to hold it in place, and then rubber band that again, and then you put lotion on the inside.
All through it.
So then you fuck your makeshift glove pussy.
And it is like, it is one of the greatest things I've ever done. But you know what? The story isn't even done, because this comes to the part where I hated myself. Now, I am not recommending you do this or recommending you don't do this. Because yes, it feels great, but I'm about to tell you about why I hated myself. So, number 1, I hated myself because I just thought, wow, I just put so much effort into that, and I'm a disgusting animal. I could have put effort into anything else. The second reason is because think about a glove right now. think of, you got it in your head, think about the diagram of a glove right now.
Yeah.
And think about what happens when you're a man who's depraved and disgusting, and you're just railing that thing. And you shoot a monstrous Gigantosaurus, a Mondopithecus of a nut, right? Think about the anatomy of a glove. Where do you think that all drains down to? The fingers, Steve. See, Steve's the only one paying attention. The fingers. Steve's the only one paying attention in class today. It goes down to the fingers.
Uh-huh.
Now you know what you have to do when you have a fleshlight and you're done, right? You gotta clean it up. So, I had to sit there for 25 minutes. Just, dude, and I mean the fingers were full. It was a heavy mixture between the lotion and my man-made lotion. I had to, like, flip inside out the glove. It was horrible. But the action was amazing. Like when I did it, I was like, "Holy damn, this is like one of the greatest things." But the cleanup is no fun. It is no fun. So I suggest like stuffing like tissues into the fingers or something. I don't know. Come up with your own idea. Because you do not want to clean out the finger cup.
You just went through with no experience beforehand and made a makeshift pocket pussy, and you...
Okay, I can't say I had no experience beforehand. I got some ideas off the internet.
You fucked a rubber glove.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was great.
You fucked a rubber glove.
You gotta try it, and you gotta report back to me.
I can't do that, I'm not gonna...
Why not?
Cause no.
Try it out. Okay, you're telling me you've never got sick of just jerking off every night, it's always your hand? You never got sick of that?
No.
What? Dude, it happens to me all the time where I'm just like, God, I gotta do something else.
I mean, I tried it one time and it was very uncomfortable, it hurt a lot, so then I was just like, no.
Try it out, try out this technique. It's good.
I doubt that.
Come on, I didn't just tell you this story for nothing.
It seems like you kinda did.
You gotta try it.
I don't want to try it.
You got a rubber glove in your house somewhere. I know you do.
So it's
Check
a rubber glove, it's not a kitchen glove?
Dude, the kitchen gloves are the best.
You're talking like an oven mitt?
No.
Like a rubber oven mitt?
It's basically like what people use, like, some people use gloves when they wash dishes. That's the kind of glove you want. But if you can't find that, a different kind of rubber glove will work. It probably won't be as good, but it'll work.
Okay.
I'm telling you, call me over Snapchat and we'll get on the FaceTime and I will...
doing
Come
that
on.
on FaceTime.
You don't got fucking time. I want to see your live action review. Watch for your cum face. Be like, all right, that's a dilated pupil. All right, his eyebrow furrow there. Okay. Oh, there's a lip quiver. Oh shit.
I can't with you.
Oh. There's a steady bouncing rhythm. Okay. Oh, I got faster. Oh, that's about 20 pumps per minute. Okay.
Do you have any fortune enchantments hidden?
He's right there. He's right there. I can tell.
By the way, can you shut the fuck up? Can you
do it to the sportscaster and like
give me back my diamond pants. Give me back my diamond pants.
Give me back my diamonds.
Plus, you took them and you never gave me.
You're gonna have to catch me first.
Got you. Give me back my stuff.
I threw him over there.
Oh. The game's saying lag mode, so you just picked him up.
You're gonna have to catch me first.
Caught you.
Oh shit! You're not supposed to do that.
I caught you.
That's not part of the game. You're supposed to lose.
Can you give me my things? Are you gonna make me catch you again?
You're gonna have to catch me.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh god! No, don't catch me, dude. What are you doing? Get away from me. You're so weird. You're so weird! Don't catch me!
Just kidding.
No! I can't do parkour under pressure. I screamed way too loud right there.
No!
Here, come on. Here's your pants.
Where are you?
Right over here. I spawned at the central hub.
I spawn at a hub a lot. Really, dude? Really?
I have no life, dude. I could do this for hours. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I got it. I gotta.
You got caught, Savage. Just give up.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Catch me if you can.
I mean, I can't with you.
Catch me. Oh shit! you gotta catch.
I can't with you do this.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Minecraft Manhunt.
This is
I
not.
am Dream.
This is not Minecraft Manhunt.
My name is Dream, and welcome to Minecraft Manhunt.
This is not a Minecraft Manhunt.
You're ready for my face reveal. It's I blue screen.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, there goes that Dream episode. Did Dream actually touch miners? Or?
Oh, okay. So
was Dream a diddler?
Oh my fucking god.
Well, I keep hearing that. I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't know. Probably.
He was a diddler?
Probably EDP445 then.
Dude.
The trash talk is already started by the team.
Imagine being a diddler. Don't imagine that, actually.
Speaking of diddling,
I think I am the villain.
What, Steve? Oh my god. You gotta go?
What?
Yes.
Why'd you say speaking of diddling you have to go?
Oh wait, doesn't he share a room with his little brother?
Oh dude, you didn't even have to bring that up. You could like not leave though.
Oh yeah, can we talk about how the government literally just said that aliens actually exist and they're in possession of
I was just talking about Steve. Dude, that's why I wanted you guys to get on last night, but only Steve got on. So I had to talk to Steve about aliens. If you want to know Steve's only response? If they're hot, I'm cool with it. That's literally all he said though.
Yeah, because they said that they're in possession of alien bodies and foreign spacecraft of interdimensional.
Steve just wants to know if they have fuckable asses or not.
Yeah, you know what? Give me the conversation that you gave Steve, and maybe I'll have a different reaction because I'm really into space.
I said, hey, did you know? Did you hear that like fucking like that old footage of the UFOs and shit? Like they officially brought it to court on YouTube, and they're like talking about it in the Supreme Court.
That happened like 2 days ago, though.
I know, and it was like a day ago when that happened. When I talked to Steve about it, that was the conversation.
No, but it happened like 2 or 3 days ago, though.
It was new when it happened.
You just said that's why you wanted us to get on last night, though.
Yeah, I know. That's when I learned about it.
But it happened Thursday.
No one else knew about it except you, apparently.
Everyone knew about it.
Steve fucking didn't. Cody didn't.
Why did none of you guys know about this? It's like the biggest space news on the
Because
planet.
I'm not on TikTok all the time.
I mean, they like I didn't know
To be
about
fair,
it.
I don't keep up with the news either. To be honest.
To be clear, I read tons of articles specifically only for space because I'm a weirdo.
I don't keep up with the news either, actually.
I only keep up with space news because space is fascinating to me.
I mean, it's a problem that I don't, because like I just don't care.
I get my news from a fish, and from this dude named Marcus Depola, from another dude named I don't even know, fucking some guy.
Oh, doesn't Steve have to go to the beach tomorrow? I think he said his parents were taking him to the beach tomorrow or something.
To the beach.
Because they went to church today, so they could not go to church tomorrow.
Interesting.
Oh, church, my church.
What's this other guy's name? What's this one? Philip
Winston
DeFranco.
Churchill.
I don't know if you know him.
I don't.
Philip DeFranco, Marcus Depola, and the SpongeBob fish is who I get my news from. Other than that, specifically for other space news, I get it from you know.
I wish I got my news from you.
U.S. Navy pilot testified in front of Congress today that...
Don't you recognize this voice?
U.S. Navy pilot testified in front of Congress today that in
No.
2003, a large red square hovered over an Air Force base and it hovered for approximately 45 seconds before disappearing. The red square was supposedly the size...
Wait, it's a red square?
U.S. Navy pilot testified in front
Yeah,
of Congress
what?
today that
I didn't
in
know that.
2003, a large red square hovered over an Air Force base and it hovered for approximately 45
red
seconds before
square?
disappearing. The red square was supposedly the size of a football field, with them saying that
Football
UFOs are
field.
commonly a black square or a black cube inside of a...
Commonly a black square or a black cube inside of a clear sphere.
Said that he saw two Navy pilots
Sounds
nearly hit a dark
horrifying.
green black cube inside of a clear sphere with no wings. But follow to stay in the loop. U.S. Navy former intelligence officer testified in front of the United States Congress today that the U.S. is in possession of alien bodies and UFOs. The officer claiming that non-human technologies have injured humans and that the U.S. government became aware of aliens in the 1930s. He also says he's seen a video of a UFO being shot down and that the U.S. government has a program to retrieve crashed UFOs and reverse engineer them. He also refused to say publicly if the U.S. has communicated with aliens and claiming that since coming forward about UFOs, he's had to fear for his life. The officer also alleging that the U.S. government is conducting a disinformation campaign targeted towards Americans about UFOs. But also with this, you have people saying extraordinary claims require extraordinary amounts of evidence. So follow to stay in the loop.
Yeah, there really was no evidence.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it was Congress that was asking the questions to specific former national intelligence officers. So, I mean, I think it's really interesting. I mean, like, you know, I don't know what they expected the world to just sort of freak the fuck out.
I think this shit's terrifying. But not in the way you think.
I think it is.
Because a lot of people are terrified because, like, it actually, like, a different species could be, like, threatening. But I'm kind of scared just because I feel like life is never going to be the same.
To be honest, I feel like people are scared because they feel like aliens are going to do to us what we do to animals on our planet.
Right. If they're anything like us, we're screwed.
Which is, the whole thing here is, I mean, I feel like that's why, you know, UFO sightings are so rare in general, is because we're a rather hostile planet.
Right.
You can't
I mean,
really...
that dude just said on the video, like, about shooting down UFOs or whatever.
And none of them have done anything.
Yeah.
Or except, he did say it has harmed people before.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think the main fear for me, like, just comes from them talking about how they're, like, far beyond building whatever we could build at all.
No,
so that
it's
just
what
means,
they're
like,
saying is...
that's scary.
They're not saying that they're far beyond what we can build. They're saying that that their resources are more abundant to build it, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, they have
Right, well, I mean, that's what I heard
resources.
on the court hearing.
different planets, different resources to make different things. So, I mean, different resources could cause an abundance. So if we were to travel to their planet, I'm pretty sure we could easily do it. Plus, didn't our government just say that they were reverse engineering it?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, if you have the materials
technically, if we have the technology, I mean, I don't know. A few years ago, I read up on a transcript from some former intelligence officer that said that America has been hiding a absolutely insane reverse engineered alien ship fleet.
Yeah.
That they have worked with various other countries, specifically with NATO countries, and that the main ship itself is a big old cigar-shaped ship.
Yeah.
And that there's a ton of other ones, and that is what deters our planet from being attacked.
Right.
So that's
yeah, I mean,
interesting.
It's fucking weird, but honestly, I kind of agree with Steve, because like when Steve actually did start talking to me about it, like his main point was like he kind of hopes that it's just not real, and I kind of agree, like, because I mean we're at a point where it has to be real, but I just kind of like hope, like, I don't know, I just want it to all blow over and never affect my life. You know what I mean?
I feel like
I'm just like, I know you're more interested in space than me, but I just want this to like
could you
blow over to the point where it will never affect my life. Like I just never want to think about it.
Think about it though. I mean, really think about it. They don't really seem to be hostile, and they're just trying to make contact and to study other planets and stuff like that.
I just don't want my life to be that drastically changed to know that like another species from a different planet is actually in contact with us. Like, I just don't want to think about that. Like, I don't have room in my head to think about that.
You can't. Oh, they also
like,
said
I can't want it.
They said they don't look like a typical alien emoji, that they look more human.
That's just fucked up to me. I hate that. I hate that. Like I know it's interesting, yes. It's interesting to theorize about, but not to be real, dude. I don't like that.
Well, obviously, have you never thought about it? Do you think, the world is only 13... Our planet is rather new. We're like 4 to 5 billion years old, to be honest.
I've thought about it, and I honestly
13.4 billion years. Fucking.
I mean, I honestly even go with the theory that if there are aliens and stuff, that it's probably just versions of humans from a long time ago. I'm already thinking about that theory a long time ago.
Yeah.
But now that this is happening, like, I just hate it. It's like, it's fun to think about. I don't want it to be real. It's like I love Five Nights at Freddy's, but I don't want kids to be murdered and possess animatronics. Like, it's just fun to think about.
I don't think that's like that at all.
like it is kind of like it, because I think about, what's a good example? Like Michael Myers. I think he's super cool, and I love just like thinking about like cool ways he could kill.
To be clear,
he's not real.
To be clear, non-human biologics doesn't essentially mean an actual alien body.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, if they haven't been on this planet for years,
it could very well mean just other types of, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, biologics usually refers to cellular stuff. So, I mean, if you're referring to that, that doesn't mean that it's an alien.
I'm referring to something that has never been here.
It's smaller cellular adaptations, and also it's very possible that he did just say that there's a disinformation program. So, I mean, that's very well what they could be doing to their intelligence officers who they know aren't reliable.
Right.
So
I would love to just find out it was a hoax. I would just love to find that out.
It's probably going to be found out that it's a hoax.
But then, once I find out it's a hoax,
to be clear,
oh shit, it was a hoax.
To be clear, the chance of other life
is so astronomically small. Or big, but small.
It's astronomically big, but also astronomically small. Okay, so
right, yeah, big but small.
To be clear, without a doubt, take this entire court hearing out of mind. There's 100% life out there, but that doesn't mean it's intelligent.
Yes, also very true. It doesn't mean that they could build a spaceship and come find us. Like, I mean, the fabric of like just space in general. I mean, they could literally just never ever find us.
And yeah, in general, seeing as there's a lot of distance. But also, here's another thing: is that the way that they travel from space to space, it is also very possible to do that. It's called bending the fabric. Okay. Let's think about it like this, right? Take a slingshot, Aiden. You pull it back, okay? And then you let go, and then you just boom, right? Very fast. Whatever the hell you put in a slingshot, right?
Right.
Now take that and think about the fabric of space. Creating a gravitational pull so strong that it snaps this fabric of space, it bends it, and then you release that gravitational pull, and it just launches you faster than the speed of light.
Right.
Because technically the fabric of space is all around you. You can cut through it in any direction, so it's really easy to manipulate, which is how you could travel from place to place, more speed than the speed of light itself. Or you could technically create a wormhole, but that might lead to, unfortunately, another dimension in which you have no way of coming back. Those are all theories by Einstein, actually.
Yeah.
And technically, gravity is just theory. You know, gravity is probably the easiest thing. And if you really could, I mean, technically, with enough gravity in a sense, I mean, even we have gravity, you could cut through the fabric of space, which is technically what essentially a black hole or wormhole is.
Yeah.
So, or fast travel, technically, I mean, you could say that is very simple. I mean, it's achievable. It's quite achievable. But you'd have to figure out a way to build something up with enough mass to do that, which I believe a nuclear fission generator would be able to generate enough mass for that kind of reaction. Like, if all of a sudden the sun just went weightless, like, we would be pulled through space crazily. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just lost its gravity, it would be launched through space at such high speeds.
Yeah.
We could also do it with pressure, right? Pressure. The fastest man-made object, the fastest man-made object ever to go on the planet was a sewer lid. Let me explain that to you. Back during the days of the Cold War, they were doing, nuclear tests, right? And they wanted to see what would happen if you were to blow up like a sewer or something. So they built a makeshift sewer over in Nevada, in this desert area, and they launched a nuke from underneath the ground, and they put a manhole cover on top, and they sealed that manhole cover in. So after this explosion happened, obviously an insane buildup of pressure happened, and the lid popped off. Scientists estimated that it traveled around 200 Mach 250. Around over 250,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
About 32% the speed of light. Around somewhere around there. So, I mean, I think it's possible. It's very possible that there's intelligent life out there, and honestly, but you also have to think, they might not even know the concept of war.
Right. Like, that's what I was thinking about. Like,
or the concept of language.
Like, what if they're just so different that they can't possibly comprehend anything that we even do?
Exactly.
Like entertainment, or like speaking, or emotion. Like, what if they're just like completely different? Like, that's scary.
That the odds are that is actually.
What if they communicate through like mental fucking shit? Like, what if they have mental connection? They don't even speak.
It's like the whole thing is that's most likely the outcome.
Yeah.
Or they could speak through electromagnetic frequencies or echolocation, shit like that.
Right.
Where they send out high frequency sounds and sort of just communicates in a way, and it also helps them see without having eyes or something like that. So, I mean, there's very, very high possibilities for situations like that.
Right, because evolution would work so much differently in different parts of the
Yeah, especially
space.
if it was, and who's to say it's a carbon-based life form? What if it's a silicone-based life form?
Yeah.
The similarities between a carbon-based life form and a silicone-based life form would be completely and utterly different. They would be nothing like us in any way, shape, or form, especially an intelligent silicone life form. Be interesting. I urge you to look up silicone-based life forms and then try to study them, because they've taken that and they've tried to make that themselves here on this planet, but obviously it didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it really is crazy because everybody just naturally assumes that they would be able to just be on our planet and just look a little different. Like, it's so much beyond that.
There's also a possibility that they could be on our planet and just look a little different.
But, like, what is the whole alien bodies thing?
What do you mean?
Like, you're talking about, like, they have, like corpses of aliens or some shit?
Non-human biologics.
Right, but, like, are they found from a spaceship that came from somewhere?
They said they do have crashed UFOs, yes.
Because, like, if those two things are connected, because, like, there's a difference to me from finding, like, as you say, non-human biologic, just finding it in, like, a crazy part of the world or something. There's a difference between that and finding it in, like, a crashed UFO or UAP, as they're calling it. Like, there's a difference between that, because that means they know how to operate a flight system. Like, that's, like, so much scarier to me.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean it's just a different, like, scary species. That means it's fucking an intelligent, scary species.
Yeah, but what if this intelligent, scary species doesn't even understand the concept of weapons? And if they did, then they would probably be fighting back against these jets that shoot them down. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
And most crashed UFOs seem to more or less just be recovered. So, I mean, because they're recovered because they're shot down. So
Yeah.
what else is there? And if there's been like 1930s reverse engineering this technology, wouldn't our government already be in possession of this?
Right.
So is there really been any contact with aliens because we've been warding them off with the reverse engineered fleet since then? Is that why we've had such strides in technological advancement from the 1930s to the 2010s or the 2020s?
Yeah. That's true. And it's like, honestly, I think the scariest thing to me isn't even really the aliens, now that I think about it. Because, like, I don't know. Because, like, I feel like aliens could, like, or aliens or non-human species, whatever it is, I feel like that could even be a good thing. I think, to me, the scariest thing is that we're finally proving that the government, like, really just wants to hide everything from us. Like, they would 100% lie if there was an alien species.
In the case of national security, in that sense, national security, they'll repeat that over and over to you again if they lie to you. And what that means is that they're trying to secure, in a way, they're trying to only protect our nation to make sure it stays. So if it's a matter of national security, they're saying it's a matter of this could be dangerous. We're not going to leak it to the public because it could cause mass panic, and that's the last thing we need when we're trying to figure out how we could fucking destroy these things.
Right, but why are we figuring out how to destroy them?
Because
Like,
it is a possibility, because what if they do have weapons? I mean, if their ships are already far beyond our technology, what if they just have like a ship? What if they have like a ship that just shoots, mostly because of radiation. Also magnetic fields, they could just really crush a person's like limb if the intensity of magnetic manipulation is increased. So I mean,
yeah, that part's true. But I think, I don't know. It's difficult for me not to think about fear of it in the sense of like humans being the thing that scare me, because like even in that hearing, there's the moment where one of the guys was talking to the person, like, you know, receiving the questions or whatever, and he was like, "Do you know if people were injured like during it?" And he misunderstood the question. He was like, "Yes, I do." But and then the guy asked again. He's like, "I meant like people who were murdered." He said the word murdered. He was like, "Do you think people were murdered for speaking out on the subject?" And the guy was just like, "I can't answer that question." Like that's fucking horrifying to me. That humans like just like kill each other. Like, don't you think these aliens think we're crazy, dude? Like if they really like are observing us, don't you think they think we're fucking insane?
Not insane as much as they would think that we're fascinating. Because not
that
only
we're like murdering each other. Like I feel like we're worse than any aliens.
We'd be pretty much fascinating in a way, because at the same time, you've got the most beautiful things going on ever. I mean, you got people that take care of each other, the people that will fight for freedom or stand up for it. And then you have people that will fight for order over freedom.
Like just killing each other. It's just like, I just can't imagine what they would think of seeing a war. Like just like
what they don't
even if it is the way we think, like if they don't understand it, like what would they like comprehend just watching it?
They wouldn't be able to comprehend it, to be honest.
Like I try to think of it as if like if I was looking down and I was watching like a species of ants just ripping each other apart, like what would I think of that? Like,
you couldn't understand why they're doing it to each other.
Right. It's just like, what are you, like, I don't understand.
Or what led to it. Or how it happened, but you just know that it's happening. Just watching people tear each other apart. Like watching ants. You have no idea how that happened. You see the two ant colonies fighting. You have no idea what led to that.
It must just be baffling. Like, or not even baffling, but just like fascinating.
Out of nowhere.
Like, what have I found? Like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this
it's
thing
like
that I'm receiving?
They're watching a cycle repeat over and over and
especially if we're talking like we've known since the 1930s. Like, how much bullshit have they seen, dude? If they really are like observers, if they are passive observers, like I assume they are, just imagine the shit they've seen. 1930s, they saw fucking World War II. I mean, like, they saw some horrible shit, and they didn't understand it at all.
Imagine them thinking, yeah, this would be a pretty easy planet to conquer. If we really wanted to, because, like, you know, look at them. They're only shooting artillery shells and, like, little metal things at each other. Like, what could be the worst happening? And then they look at Japan. And then that just...
Because so that is actually an interesting thought, because even that, which would seem primitive to an alien, the nuclear, like, that...
They would be like, what the hell happened? How do you obtain the power of a star? In a way. Also, you're... Yeah, like in a sense it's a supernova, but it's more or less like an uncontained version of a star is what a nuclear bomb is.
Right.
Because a nuclear bomb is contained by the pressure of space and by gravity, and if there's no containment for that, that is what happens.
Like, they would feel like that the same way, like, I try to compare it to how a human would feel. Like, if you saw, like, a spider or some shit, like, manufacture a bow and arrow and shoot a stick at a different bug. Like, that would be how that would feel. We would be like, holy shit, they're so fucking smart, how do they do that? Like, that's how that would look. Like, how the hell, like, why are you doing this? Like,
I mean, honestly,
utter destruction of that.
Could you imagine? You're just floating by and you're following this big old plane, right? And you're confused as to what it's doing, and then you just see it fucking drop.
It's like, oh, is it delivering a care package to
you see it drop and you're like, oh, you know, I just watched the other day, like, a bombing happened in Germany. I mean, this has got to be similar to it. Just a small little explosion. It's like a firecracker on the ground. So they're thinking it's probably nothing, and then, meow, and then they look, and they see that humans have just created a mini star on their planet, which, by the way, every time a nuclear bomb goes off, there's a slight chance the entire atmosphere might ignite.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Because, like, yeah. But they're just watching the fact that humans, these primitive creatures, have just jumped from artillery shells and cannonballs to a fucking miniature star.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the energy of a star, man. It's just the uncontained energy of a momentary star that they make. Could you imagine what they think we're even capable of? And now that we have an engine that's capable of nuclear fusion contained?
Yeah. Fucking world's gonna end, dude. It's fucking scary just to think about. Like, it could be a beautiful thing. Like the whole nuclear
Could you
fusion
imagine
engine and shit.
we establish
That could just solve everything.
a galactic federation? Could you think about
God,
that?
that'd be so fucked up. Oh man, there'd just be too much to think about, bro. Oh
We
my
go
God.
around and start conquering planets.
That's how I'd feel. Like yes, bettering humanity or whatever is good, but I just don't want to think about that. Like, can it happen like in the
Conquering.
future?
Here's the thing. We're there. We are
Right.
in the future. We're in the time.
Right. I think about it all the time. It sucks. I don't want to be here.
By like 2030, we're gonna be on Mars, starting to colonize it.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
People are gonna be living on another fucking planet. Think about that like that. They even said by like 2060, we should have a way to reverse aging, so that you could never fucking die. Could you think about that? I mean,
I did think about it, because I was watching, who is it, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was giving those same predictions, talking about how, like, year 2060, we're gonna solve all disease, like, and it was like, dude, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's just
actually so possible.
hard to believe.
because once you start attacking with DNA tags, that's exactly what they're doing. And when technology advances the way it's been advancing for like the last, I mean, take a look at the 1700s, right? And then take a look at now. Now the Earth has been, we've been around for like 40 years and years, right? And we haven't had that much advancement, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I mean, it seems like the further we get, the faster we advance.
Yeah.
We went from only 300 years out of our, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of years of evolution. We went from riding horses to riding in fucking fully automatic self-driving vehicles. And also, fucking hover cars are made now, and it's just like, what in the next 60 years, like, what's gonna happen?
Right.
And we're gonna be here for it.
It's fucking crazy.
Which is the scary part, because then you're thinking,
like,
what am I
happens
gonna
if they
witness?
solve aging? Like, what happens?
and you don't have to die unless, you know, someone kills you or something.
Right. And like, what happens if that gets released to
Overpopulation.
where I can just choose that?
Then
Like,
you have a
that's
mass
fucking
of overpopulation, and then the need to explore other planets.
Dude. And then once, because if people never die, then their knowledge can just continue on, and like,
Yeah, the
you
passing of
don't-
knowledge.
You can keep working, and then new people can keep working, so shit will continue to go faster forever.
There's no need to hire new people,
Because it'll just always continue going faster.
and there's
Like,
going to always be more
so
people, so that way you can start your own company. You can hire people. People would be rich. I mean, it would be the most beautiful thing on the planet. You don't have to die if you're not ready.
Right.
You know? It's just... Because, like, the need for... After that, I mean, we're at 8 billion people. 100 years from now, if aging isn't solved, 8 billion people will have died. Think about that. And then, imagine that. And in years from now, you know, probably another 8 billion people will have been born.
Yeah.
And more. Add an extra 2 billion. So then you're like, okay, well now we're starting to get crowded. What do we fucking do? We have Mars. Well, guess what? Mars is starting to get crowded too because people are fucking over there, and also their bodies are adapting to the environment, so now they've become a different type of human, a sort of subspecies, right? And you're like, well, I mean, that's evolution for you, but we don't have another planet. But we have a shit ton of hydrogen bombs. And then you look at Venus. Do you know what would happen if we hydrogen bombed Venus? Because
right,
it's
you bomb
so,
Venus because it'll, yeah, dude, that's fucking scary.
So toxic. All we'd have to do is just send a shit ton of nukes, bomb the whole planet, and it would become habitable in an instant. In an instant.
Change the atmosphere, yeah.
Change the atmosphere entirely. I mean, it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you get it, but that's why I hate thinking about it.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I know you like it, but I'm sure you understand why I don't like thinking about it.
You bomb it and then it just rains down the water.
It's too much ahead. Because, like, I totally, like, get everything you're saying.
And that's gonna happen within the next 60 years.
Alright. It's fucking crazy, man.
And then you're just gonna, you know, fucking watch it happen. I mean, like, wow, you know? And Venus, it's more like Earth than Mars is because it has a core, right? And it has a constant magnetic field, so the atmosphere won't be being blasted away 24/7 by solar flares, right? So I mean, it's kind of perfect. And then, but Mars is more like a machine that needs to be oiled constantly, because you can't. Because solar flares will be constantly stripping away. It doesn't have a strong magnetic field, right? So the atmosphere will be constantly stripped away. So you gotta add more and more and more, which is what plants would do perfectly.
Right.
But then you also have to add a mix of nitrogen and all this other shit to keep the atmosphere breathable.
Yeah.
Something I find fascinating is how big of a difference the amount of oxygen makes in an atmosphere. Did you know that dinosaurs were as big as they were because of the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere?
Damn, that's crazy to think about, too.
And when the atmosphere, when we were hit by that meteor, it burned up a lot of the oxygen in the atmosphere. So we have a lot less than we did before, which is why everything is so small. And beforehand, we would be bigger. We would probably be as tall as the house right now, Aiden. As tall as your house. Yeah. And your house is pretty big. Like, it's pretty tall. You'd probably be as tall as that. And bugs would be fucking massive.
Yeah, and that would just be normal.
And that would be life.
That wouldn't be weird. Like, that, dude, that's weird to think about.
Yeah, being a fucking giant would not be weird.
That
trees.
Would just, like, if you were this size, it would be fucking crazy.
Trees would be like skyscraper.
Like, people would look down and be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I mean, like...
Because things would just naturally be built that big and nothing, like... It's crazy to think humans would not ever think anything weird of that. But to us, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, man, I mean, just like...
That's why I like thinking about, like, different parallel universes or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, where the oxygen didn't burn up like that and people are that big.
Well, yeah, think about it like this. I mean... There's a theory that every decision you make splits off another reality where you didn't make that decision. Whereas I chose to not say decision in that thing, or I chose to say choice. So that creates another entirely different universe, and then in that universe I could say something else, and then that creates another one, that creates another one, that creates another one. So there's an infinite amount of multiverses that we create off of our daily decisions.
Right. Like a universe where I didn't create a fleshlight out of gloves and socks.
Just like that, yeah. A universe where no one's alive, or a universe where aliens don't exist, or a universe where that meteor wiped out everything entirely.
Alright, it just didn't continue from there. That's crazy. like Earth just died there. That would be fucking. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. But life is very resilient in that way.
Right.
No matter what, even if humans don't survive, there's still going to be life surviving. Which is why apocalypse would be an interesting thing. I feel like I'd be able to live through that. You know, and everybody says, oh, zombie apocalypse would do it, or a nuclear apocalypse would do it, but realistically, it would be a bacterial one.
Yeah.
Because you know how fast bacteria adapts to, you know, antibiotics.
Right.
They can
Just
adapt
look at
pretty
fucking COVID.
easily.
If that was more lethal.
So, could you imagine something like strong in the sense of COVID, but lethal? And
Right.
it just went worldwide?
That's why thinking about the next 60 years, including like so many different cures to shit, is so like integral.
Yeah. It's so interesting in general to just think about.
Yeah.
I find it kind of comforting.
Yeah.
To know that there's so much more that can be done for us. And also to think about if we've been advancing this way, where the more time goes on, the faster we advance. What about an alien race that's 1,000,000 years ahead of us?
Yeah.
What if they're just making new technology like every fucking second?
Right, like they're like so far advanced and they're still advancing.
Exactly. You know, there's so much shit. It's quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there's also the problem that even if we were to live for the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 billion, oh shit.